US President Donald Trump's tariffs have caused chaos in global markets, with stock markets in the US, Europe and Asia plunging in response. The S&P 500 saw its biggest loss since 2020, dropping 4.8%, while the NASDAQ fell 6% and the Dow Jones dropped 4%. Trump remained defiant, insisting that the US economy will come out stronger after these measures. He has claimed that the US is undergoing a massive economic reconstruction. China has announced that it will impose a 34% tariff on all US imports starting 10th April, retaliating against US President Donald Trump's new 34% tariff on Chinese goods, escalating trade tensions between the two nations. Meanwhile, Philip Monnier, a former executive director of the Greater Geneva Bern area, has criticized the United States' reciprocal tariffs, calling them a violation of WTO rules and detrimental to both domestic and global economies. Here's what he said.
WTO rules, you have to follow the most favored nation principle. It is not the same as reciprocal tariff. On this other thing is that if you have some disagreement, you should not take some unilateral decision. There are some specific dispute mechanism, and you have to use those mechanisms if you disagree.
Meanwhile, the French Prime Minister has said that thousands of jobs are at risk as well. Listen in.
Première inquiétude, celle qui est la plus grave, celle qui doit nous alerter, c'est pour les producteurs français, pour les entreprises qui produisent et exportent aux États-Unis. Et vous voyez bien que, par exemple, dans le domaine agricole, dans le domaine viticole, dans le domaine des spiritueux, il y a des dizaines de milliers d'emplois qui sont menacés. Alors les optimistes disent, bon, il va y avoir une confrontation et puis après ça va se lever rapidement. Et nous, notre responsabilité, c'est d'envisager de suivre ça, comme vous savez.
Additionally, Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Shiba called the tariffs a national crisis and said that the government is working hard to minimize the impact. He urged a calm-headed approach in negotiations with the US. Ishiba ordered his ministers to closely study the tariffs and consider supporting domestic industries and jobs. Japan's government also expressed serious concerns about whether the new tariffs comply with international trade agreements. The IMF has cautioned that these tariffs represent a significant risk to the global economic outlook, with possible negative impacts on global trade. Taking the conversation forward, I have with me Lord Rami Ranger, member of House of Lords of the UK, with us. Lord Ranger, thank you so much for speaking with NewsX World. I, of course, begin by asking you, how exactly is the United Kingdom preparing itself for what the world will be witnessing in the months to come?
I'm sorry, my computer is just playing up. 1 second. Right. Yeah, these are very difficult times because, we are a global economy. The world is a global economy. And if one country behaves in an irrational manner, the effect is global. So the America being the #1 economy of the world, where people depend on trade, there's so many things, which we buy from America and we export to America. So there will be a very big effect. The prices will go through the roof. And not only that, there'll be unemployment, there'll be a lot of factory closures, which depends on the American market. It is one of the biggest markets in the world. So therefore, the United Kingdom has been a very close ally of the United States. And I hope they will have some agreement where they will try to minimize the effect of these tariffs, which the President Trump wishes to impose. But at the same time, short term, there will be a very big shock to the stock market, to the world market. So I think it's a very uncertain thing how this is going to pan out. But I think there will definitely be price rises because, Americans are used to buy cheap imported stuff from America. If they have to go up, then effect will be on inflation, unemployment. So it's a snowball effect. So we will not be isolated in United Kingdom.
Absolutely. At the same time, Lord Ranger, what exactly do you think will happen in the next few months? Do you feel that the tariffs imposed by the US could possibly open up other avenues and opportunities for other nations to explore as well?
Well, initially, there will be a shock. There will be a lot of disruption, but eventually the countries will wake up. The country will start to depend on their own self. There will be a lot of industry which will get a boost, which were not able to compete with the Chinese import. So there will be a long-term benefit. It could prove beneficial in the long run, but there are very small countries, who will not be able to withstand what a big economy like India, Japan, Korea, and United Kingdom and Europe can. So therefore, in the long run, there will be more trade agreement between various countries, more alliances will be forged, to counteract this unilateral decision by America to change the goalpost overnight. So I think initially there will be a lot of upheaval, but in the long run, there are economies, very big economies, because if they start boycotting American product, which I've seen, a lot of people are now removing American product from their shelves as a retaliation, as a protest, just to warn America that they could end up losing so much. You can imagine the amount of business Americans do with the world. Everything we buy from America. So therefore, it is going to be a very long-haul battle between America and the rest of the world.
Absolutely. Lord Rami Ranger, thank you so much for joining us on NewsX World.